Lady Gaga and Kate Bush, two female singers with new albums coming out this month, but with very different approaches to their music and to the public. Not many Bronte references in modern-day music, are there? That was Kate Bush's Wuthering Heights, before that Lady Gaga's Poker Face. And of course, when Lady Gaga isn't making outlandish fashion statements, she's tweeting to her millions of fans, or what she calls her little monsters. Kate Bush, on the other hand, well, she's rarely seen in public, and she averages about one album a decade. She does have a new album out today, though. Well, it's sort of a new album, because it's mostly old versions of some of her new versions, I should say, of some of her old songs. Here she is, giving a very rare interview to the BBC's Front Row programme.
I don't really listen to my old stuff a lot, but my sense of them was that they could benefit from being revisited. I think there's always a long, lingering dissatisfaction with everything I've done. I think it's part of the process. I think in some ways I'm just starting to get the hang of, the whole piecing together of a recording process. There's always something wrong. Either, I sing it stupidly, or I put lyrics in there that were wrong, or the production's not right, or... that's why it's this continual learning process, and hopefully that you can learn from your mistakes.
Kate Bush there. So, is it possible to retain your popularity in this social network-saturated world if you're one of the more reclusive artists? Well, Helen Brown is music critic for the British newspaper The Telegraph. Does she think that Kate Bush's enigmatic persona is part of her appeal?
I don't think it's part of her appeal, but I think it certainly contributes to it. She's always, her art has always been on the stage, in the records, and we don't get to know anything else about her. And I think that's wonderful, because it doesn't interfere with the extraordinarily personal relationship that people build up with her songs. We don't see her walking around in her underwear to kind of destroy it. And,
well, I suppose if you think back to some of us who remember the beginnings of Kate Bush's career, I mean, she was not dissimilar to Lady Gaga in the sort of slightly rather different kind of figure that she cut in the music business.
Well, I think what they have in common is they have a kind of artistic approach to music. So they will create the visuals to go with it. What's different, and that is true. They both wore outlandish costumes to these extraordinary dances. I think the difference is that Kate Bush created a separate world, a separate character, a separate costume to go with pretty much every song, and certainly for each album. Whereas with Lady Gaga, we've seen a kind of similar sort of freak bondage theme throughout, and it's ironic that you had Lady Gaga there singing Poker Face, because if either of those two women have a poker face, it's Kate Bush. You can see Lady Gaga's face and you know what she wants, and it's fame.
She wants fame, and she's got it, and she, as we've been saying, she lets all her, more than 2 million followers on Twitter, they get to hear about her views on all sorts of things. Is it going to be possible in this world we have to emerge as a new artist and to be able to keep the kind of more reclusive style that Kate Bush has had over the years?
It's going to be increasingly difficult, simply because there are so many more people around, and to get any kind of media coverage, you do have to keep pulling off these stunts. It is still possible to do it. I mean, there's lots of artists. I mean, Florence Welch of Florence and the Machine is hugely inspired by Kate Bush, and I think she's doing very well at keeping her head down. I do think it is purely about the quality of the music. Lady Gaga, I'm afraid to say, she has some really great catchy tunes, but let's face it, I don't think you could pull them out, a lot of the album tracks out on the radio. You could tell any Kate Bush song, if you're wandering through the Gobi Desert, you would find a Kate Bush song, you would know who was singing it. Lady Gaga, I don't think, has a distinctive voice. I don't think she's yet come up with a distinctive musical style, so she needs all this other stuff, the branding of Polaroids, wearing meat. She needs all this stuff to keep her brand intact.
Helen Brown there from The Telegraph. I'm just imagining wandering through the Gobi Desert listening to Kate Bush. Anyway, let us know what you think. Do you prefer your stars to be prolific and in your face in the Lady Gaga mode, or rather more selective in their output and their public comments like Kate Bush? Let us know. Our email address, worldhaveyourSay@bbc.com, or you can send us an SMS, 44778620680. You've heard plenty of Lady Gaga, I'm sure, over the last few weeks and months, so let's have a little bit of Kate Bush and Wuthering Heights to play us out We've got a summary of world news in just a minute. You're listening to NewsHour from the BBC World Service.